What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. So last episode, we got started on Act 2 proper. We picked up a couple quests, we went to our message boards, all that good stuff. So I figured, on this episode, we just kind of get all these companions to talk to, right? Get all these things set up, and then we'll start knocking these quests off one by one. So let's start with my least favorite companion. We'll start with Anders.
This is the only place in Kirkwall I feel safe.
Yeah, is it? See him turbo walking right there as I turn around. That's always funny to me when I catch the NPCs doing that.
And that will, stop the itch.
Yes. Though I would stay away from women you meet in the port. Pirates tend to dock in unsavory places.
Yeah, that Isabella.
I heard that.
Just
She did.
use the salve if it comes back.
Excuse me.
Things just keep getting worse. I had Templars practically on my doorstep the other night.
The Templars are hunting you?
Not me specifically. They were just checking the refugee camps. But it's not like this place is a secret. It's only a matter of time.
We haven't talked much recently. How have you been?
Good.
You may as well check in,
I
right?
just love what Knight Commander Meredith's done with the place. The curfews, the midnight raids on mages' families. Everyone I know forced into hiding so they won't be made tranquil.
That's not true, man. We have a letter from Bethany, and she is literally an apostate, exactly like him and his friends are. And she wasn't made tranquil. In fact, she's a teacher now. She's teaching apprentice mages. So I don't know where he's pulling this from. Like everybody he knows is just going to be made tranquil if they're found, but it's not true. I don't know what shades his worldview, but we have direct conflicting evidence that this is not the case inside the game with our sister, so... I mean, maybe you could try and be like, well, you see, but Bethany is a hawk, and you're kind of in touch with the Viscount, but as you've seen, Meredith gives no fucks about the Viscount at all. She's not political. She's all about her bullshit, so that's just not true. Whatever he's talking about here is not the case.
Is that making it harder for you, with justice?
In the Fade, there is no time. Emotion rules everything. Justice doesn't know how to sit idle until the right moment to strike. And I can't say I have any greater patience. I fear what my anger has made of my friend.
You chose to merge with him. Only you can make it work.
Indeed, it's your responsibility
I am
now,
trying.
Anders.
I have not attacked the Templars openly. I've helped the mages here as best I can, but this impasse cannot last. One day, everyone in Kirkwall will have to choose a side.
Yeah, and of course he'd like that. He'd like to turn it into a big bloodbath where everybody has to pick a side and die fighting, but... See, Anders' biggest problem is he doesn't realize that the entire world doesn't see it the same way as he does, and his cause right there that he's willing to die for, even the other mages aren't willing to die for that. That's his bullshit, that's his baggage. And his biggest flaw as a character is that he doesn't realize that, well, the world's not how he sees it, and even his own people don't see the world how he sees it. He's spinning up these, like, I'm sure he knows a mage that would be made tranquil if they were caught. Like some kind of outlaw mage, maybe he's done blood magic, I'm sure that exists, right? But what I know for a fact doesn't exist is a blanket statement of all mages being tranquil if they're apostates. We have proof of that with Bethany. And we have further proof of that with the mages that we rescued from that cave. The ones with Thrask and whatever the other Templar's name was. They weren't all immediately slaughtered when they surrendered. And that Templar wanted to do that, but they weren't. So we have, what, like, that's 4 mages that Anders has seen personally not be made tranquil after being apostates, but he still has this fucking, like, wild assumption of the Templar's intent that he has no supporting evidence for, apart from his one friend that was made tranquil. But I mean, I have my questions about Carl, to be honest, why he was made tranquil in the first place. I wasn't there to see what went down with that, but I don't think it was just for existing. We haven't seen anything happen for just existing.
Won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Easy, Isabella.
3 years. There's still no sign of Daenerys. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Isn't this what you wanted?
Yes, but... Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
It's like he said, there comes a time when you have to turn and face the tiger. He wants to get Denarius dead so he doesn't have to spend the rest of his life looking over his shoulders, which I empathize with.
You start over. Isn't that what you want?
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings, the lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You don't have to walk away.
You don't know who you were.
Fenris was
Agony-induced amnesia. I mean, can you imagine the pain?
Little wolf.
That hurts so bad that you forget
or a family,
everything.
And they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
That must be an unimaginable amount of pain. Wipe your memory like that.
Your problems are my problems.
Unlucky you. But enough. You have much to keep you busy, I'm certain.
I'll never have a problem stopping by.
We should move on.
One thing I am pretty good at is being there for my companions. It's funny too, because right now in this game, when you really think about it, when you look at all the other Dragon Age games, there's always some grand scale where we need everybody at their best to deal with the issue, right? And here there really isn't. I mean, the grandest scale of danger that we faced during this game was when we escaped the Bly in the tutorial. Like here, we just needed to make a name for ourselves, we just needed money, then we had the Deep Roads expedition, now we're just trying to rise up in the world. We really aren't experiencing any giant amount of issues here. Who do we have left to talk to? So we gotta chit-chat to Merril. Indeed. Let's take a gander around your house real fast, Merril. You have any more codexes locked up anywhere for us? This looks like a broken alluvian, which is a very dangerous object. You didn't tell me about that, Merril. How's your life been going in the alienage?
Have you heard from your sister?
You still haven't been mugged, I hope.
Is she settling in all right with the Circle?
I thought you and Bethany didn't get along. Why are you worrying over her?
I'd be terrified in her shoes. Surrounded by strangers. Watched all the time. We didn't always agree, but she's a sweet girl. I would never wish that fate on anyone.
Our mother checks on her frequently. She seems to be adjusting.
Maybe it's nice for her to finally...
Sounded like she was enjoying it in the letters.
She's strong. If anyone can get through this, she can. Don't blame yourself.
If I'd gotten home sooner, she might still be free.
Once the Templars knew, nothing you could have done would have saved her. Things will be all right. Somehow.
I would like to know how they found out, but I imagine without Varric being there for weeks on end, being stuck down in the Deep Roads like that, I imagine there's just nobody to watch her back. That's probably what that was. Without Varric there to play defense, then it all just went to shit. I imagine that's how that worked. So let's go catch up with Aveline, and then we'll go to the Chantry and check Sebastian. We already did a number of quests for Sebastian, actually, so...
Fine day, isn't it, Chell?
Indeed it is.
It'll be interesting to get to talk to him a little more. We don't have too much on him apart from what happened with his family and how he left the priesthood to get revenge, which I wholeheartedly support, much to the revered mother's dismay.
We'll need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed.
Yeah, I think that'll be the end of the conversation, God.
You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or two, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when eternity needs a nanny.
You had to know cleaning up this mess would be difficult.
It's not the challenge, it's the unending part. And really, I blame you.
I
You
accept
poured
that.
money into a pot that was already full. Everything has shifted. Good job validating the fears of every anti-Ferelden and Kirkwall.
Well, to be fair, everybody benefits, right? The rising tide. We brought hundreds of sovereigns back up from the deep roads.
I didn't realize I was making it worse by getting ahead.
I'm just harassing you. Although you are a bit like the center of a hurricane. You've changed fortunes for many people, not always for the better.
Sounds like you're spreading yourself pretty thin.
There are a lot of people in my charge. Someone has to look out for them.
Well, like we just pointed
You
out,
guard
I
the
got some
guards.
money for you, so
I don't turn people loose like
if you
Jevon.
need a couple
There's
sovereigns.
additional training, doubled patrols. Costs are up, but I've halved injuries. I'll take it and argue with Seneschal Bran later.
After the last captain, you couldn't have expected this to be easy.
At least I had the guards on my side. Once they understood, they rallied. And those who didn't weren't fit to hold the crest. Stack friends against the enemies. I don't know if I came out ahead, but it's for the better.
Yeah, I think, I'm sure the old guard captain, corrupt as he was, had a lot of guards on the take, but it sounds like she just kicked all those out, and the only ones left are like the true bloods. The ones that actually want to take care of Kirkwall.
Grouse all you want, but the Aveline I know doesn't regret a second as captain.
They'd have to drag me out of here. And I'm sure some are lining up to try. You among them, I bet. Haven't had much time to follow you around. Not that I need to. I can trust that you at least try to do right.
Usually.
I'm with you if you need me, Hawk. Just say the word.
I do my best. I'm sure we run afoul of her moral code every now and then, right? There's certain times where I'll take a slice of money where I shouldn't, or I'll let somebody go that I shouldn't, especially with what I'm going to be doing with Isabella, because Isabella and her do not agree on anything. So that's where we butt heads the most, because I'm way more inclined to agree with some of Isabella's decisions than Aveline could ever be, even on her worst day, when she just didn't have the energy to argue. She'd still disagree more than I do, so...
I see, Torlin.
Forgive me, Your Grace.
Which is not necessarily her fault. It's nice that she's so forthright. It makes her a really good candidate for guard captain, actually. Where she's doing so good in that position. Because she's unbending.
I'm sorry.
There's an evil tome here. You found one of Tyrone's books. The pages are filled with the secrets of blood magic. You feel a stirring of power as you look upon it. I don't know if we should read it. I think taking it might be a good option, so it's off the streets. Good job, Isabella. Very effective. Yeah, that's a unique little side quest. You have plenty of options of what to do with those tomes. I usually just take them. I don't tend to read them, but you can do whatever you like with those. I'm not interested in any reading of blood magic, though. I just take them off the street, kill the demons that spawn up, and then call that a win. Isabella, I need your lockpicking skills. We got anything else around here? The Enigma of Kirkwall, we picked up a bunch of these. We're probably getting pretty close to all 7 of them. I believe there's 7 in total. Alright, now that we took care of some violence, we can go ahead and talk to Sebastian there. He's conversing with the revered mother. No doubt she's trying to sell him on abandoning all this and letting his family die in vain and becoming part of the cloth. But if she asks my opinion, I'm not going to support hers. I'm Team Sebastian here.
I thought it would end here. Young Master Hawk destroyed Flint Company. None remain. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
That's
Right.
not true.
Hawk? We were just talking about you.
Sometimes death is the only justice you can get.
Saying good things, I hope.
Many people in Kirkwall have good things to say about you.
I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents'
The
allies.
Harrimans.
It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
The Harrimans is the guy who I let live on the docks when Merrin's company was trying to be hired to kill him. We let him go.
I think I've met Lord Harriman.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
But he just passed of old age, I assume, since I met him, and now his daughter's doing the dirty deeds.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say.
See what it comes
Lady
down
Harriman
to.
was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
Is there any peaceful way to resolve this?
If you treat the Harrimans like those mercenaries, you could start a war. Go carefully, Sebastian.
Technically, they
I
started
must
the
speak
war.
with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
If I'm standing beside you, that should make her think twice.
Again, your interest in my plight humbles me. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry.
Now we have Sebastian over here that we can just tag in whenever we like. I will eventually do that, but we're not going to be taking care of his stuff today.
I cannot fault Sebastian for wanting to know why an old ally would turn against his parents. But I fear he's too impetuous. He may do something he regrets. Please, go with him, try to restrain him. If the Harrimans are guilty, they will receive justice from the Viscount.
Where is the justice in that?
Sebastian need not take their punishment into his own hands.
The thing that upsets me about her perspective is, why is it on Sebastian to turn the other cheek? Like, she's saying that he'll start a war if he starts throwing hands with the Harrimans, but the Harrimans already started the war by slaughtering all of the Veils. The war is already here. Like, it started. The option is surrender or to fight back. And for some reason, she thinks surrender is justice, which is beyond me. It's I have the same problem with The Last of Us Part 2, where it's always on Ellie to turn the other cheek narratively, like she's the one that's ruining all this by getting revenge, when the whole game starts under the pretense of the other character getting revenge in the first place. And it's the same thing here, like, Sebastian is at fault for wanting revenge, not the other party for making him need revenge in the first place.
Would it help anything for us to get involved? Or is it more likely to light the kindling? If the Qunari act against us, the Templars will defend Kirkwall. Otherwise, we guard ourselves best by waiting.
I don't know if that's a wise play.
How long have you been Grand Cleric?
I became a lay sister here when I was only a girl. My parents died of fever, and I was taken in by the Chantry. Eventually, I took my vows. After I had served for some time, the revered mothers agreed that I should travel to Orlais. The Divine herself appointed me Grand Cleric of Kirkwall. That was near 30 years ago.
You knew my grandparents?
I dedicated your mother into the Chantry. She was a beautiful baby. Your grandmother was a very proper lady, but she was beside herself that day. And your mother put a fist in my eye.
I can take a quick blessing.
I'd always welcome your benediction.
Andraste, guide your steps in this difficult time.
And we got some difficult things coming up, so a little assistance couldn't hurt, right? Alrighty, so if we go into companions, we have Repentance, and that's accompany Sebastian to Lady Harriman's estate to learn why she hired Flint Company to murder his family. We also picked up some side quests here. Obviously we have Forbidden Knowledge, which is destroy Peroni's tomes of dark magic hidden in and around Kirkwall. We have Sketchy on the Details, which is search Kirkwall for more assassins hunting Sketch, and I think Sketch is the merchant from Liliana's song in Dragon Age Origins, which is a cool little tie-in. And then Bounty Hunter. The Templars are offering a reward for capturing or killing 3 apostates. I already killed one off camera while I was exploring. Then the other 2 are still in hiding. I will go ahead and knock those off as we come across them, but I'm not going to go out of my way for it. It's just the kind of thing where if we catch them, we'll give them the business. So that is going to be Lady Harriman's estate somewhere down here, but of course we don't have Sebastian in the party. I'm not going to do that today. This is Black Powder Courtesy, and this is Prime Suspect. Then in Lowtown we have Night Terrors. So let's go check out the docks. I'm not going to talk to the Canary here, but I do just want to take a quick swing around the docks to see what's what. The Black Powder Courtesy, of course, is a main quest, and then so is Prime Suspect. But we don't want to do main quest right off the bat. We want to take care of the side ones first. So we'll do Night Terrors this episode. But I want to take a swing first. What are you?
You are Hawk. A patrol went missing along the Wounded Coast. You have fought Kunari before and triumphed. Arvarad, no less. So tell me, did you kill them?
If I did kill them, why would I tell you? You just attacked me.
I seek an answer to a question. What has happened to the missing Karatam? Vengeance is not relevant to this task.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We didn't kill any Kunari recently.
If you are not responsible, I waste my time here.
And the Lost Patrol. So we have a new quest right there on the Wounded Coast. Let's take a look down all these side passages. Gonna be some new crates and toys and goodies. I haven't done much since the last episode. I just went down into Darktown to get set up for Anders' little conversation, and that's where I ran into the first mage that I had to hunt down, so that's why we are where we are with the Mage Templar hunt quest. I just happened to run into it, so I took care of it. He was, of course, a blood mage and attacked me on sight, so for all Anders' goody shit about mages,
You know, I think this is.
they just always do their best to prove them wrong. It's another crate. It's interesting that the Canary have been abandoned here for like 3 years. Or pushing 4 now, probably, right? And when you figure out and listen to the Arashok himself talk about how repulsive he finds Kirkwall, you tend to believe him when he says that he would leave if he could, because he clearly despises this place with a passion. That is for Varric, increases attack, and Lyrium Scales are for Fenris, which is his rune slot. I'll just keep grabbing those as we find them. There's no reason not to. You'll see we have only 12 sovereigns now, because I did a lot of purchasing off camera. Got some potions and some goodies for everybody. But in general, there's no major changes. I think maybe 5 more level ups and I'll make a dedicated tactics video, because I think by then it will all be ready to showcase and things.
The best thing you can say is that the Blight didn't get here.
Night Terrors is actually an interesting quest. That'll be a fun one to do this episode, I think. I know we've already been going around 23 minutes doing all this for the different companions, but once we get it wrapped up and going, we can just start taking that momentum forward. There's always a lot to get done when you kick off a new act. I still haven't done any of the nighttime things yet here either, so I gotta wipe out the gang population of Kirkwall in the background. It's too bad about Lord Harriman. Then again, it is nice to know that he wasn't the one that killed Sebastian's family, but too bad that he died. I believed he was a good man. That's why I spared him in the first place. He seemed like a very good man. And the reason why he was like trying to figure it all out anyways, because people wanted him dead. Murin was hired because he was giving money to Ferelden Aid. So the whole reason they wanted him dead was a sham. So I certainly wasn't going to help do any of that. We're better off going this way, I think, so we can just dip straight into Lowtown. Alright, let's go to talk to Feynriel's mother. We gotta see what's going on with him anyway, right? Now, I think I ran around most of Lowtown, right? Because I hit the merchants. So I would have done all of that because I was hitting all the different merchants to see if they had goodies. So I think we should just be good to even assassin. He had a bad day. Yeah, those are the Antivan assassins we got in a side quest. That was on the bounty board, I believe. That is down here. Yeah, for assassins hunt and sketch. So there's some crows. Since they're Antivan assassins, all Antivan assassins are Antivan crows. So I'm pretty curious what Sketch did to get the Antivan crows up his ass. They don't roll out of bed for any small amount of coin. So he must have pissed somebody off that has a lot of funding. We'll have to run around and take a look at some of that as we go. I doubt we're going to run into all the ones we need while we're doing these quests. Probably scattered in all different directions around Hightown and Lowtown, Darktown.
I was hoping you'd come. You did so much for my Feynriel already, but I visited him among the people, but he turned me away. I know the demons still plague him, and now they've taken him. 2 days ago, Feynriel went into a nightmare and hasn't returned.
He can't be woken up?
The Keeper says he is near death. His lips still fog a mirror, but that is all.
Surely there are mages who can pursue him in the Fade.
I have contacted Keeper Marathari. The Dalish have an ancient ritual that might help, but it requires someone Feynriel trusts to enter the Fade to free him.
Yeah, it's not going to be a situation like in Ferelden where we got the first enchanter to take care of Connor. Feynriel's not that young, and this is not Ferelden. For as much as I don't think this Kirkwall Circle is as bad as Anders makes out, it's definitely not as good as the Ferelden one, so I don't think we'll get assistance there. The Dalish are definitely the best bet.
This is hardly my area of expertise, but is there anything I can do?
Marathari is coming to perform the ritual that will bring Feynriel back. His childhood things here will help anchor him.
Frolic through dreams? Sounds like an experience. I'm game.
You'll need someone experienced in the Fade to come with you.
I've already called for the Keeper. We need to begin the ritual as quickly as possible. Would you like to stay here or return when she arrives?
This is too urgent to delay.
Yeah, I'll wait.
You have been far kinder than I had any right to expect.
I'm sure this all seems very strange to Marathari. This has a very charming nature to it. Man, BioWare was good. I love this game.
I came quickly, Ariane. I did not wish to tell you by letter how grave your son's situation is.
These games always were peak storytelling in RPGs.
Makes him what the Tevinters called Somniari, a dreamer. Dreamers have the power to control the beyond, what humans call the Fade. Feynriel is the first in 2 ages to survive.
Why are they so rare?
Dreamers have great power in the Fade. They attract demons. Luckily, most prove too frail of mind to survive a demon's possession. A dreamer abomination would be near unstoppable.
You gotta take in mind too, the kind of risk Marathari is taking here waltzing into the Lowtown alienage. the Templars have her here and isolated, they would certainly not bat an eyelash about, like, taking her to the Circle if they found out. She took a big risk coming here for Feynriel, which is very respectable.
Is there a difference between the Beyond and the Fade?
They are the same. By either name, the Fade is the realm of spirits, Thedas' heart, while the mortal realm is its strong arm. The demons who live there covet the bodies of mortals and seek to possess them. Only mages ever touch the Fade in a waking state. Others see it in dreams.
What exactly are we going to do here?
The elves of the Dales were experts in the Somniari arts. They could even help those with no power enter the Fade. I have done my best to recreate the ritual. We will use Feynriel's childhood home as a focus to draw him back through the veil.
What can a dreamer do?
Dreamers are unique for their ability to enter the Fade at will, without the aid of Lyrium. In the Fade, they can shape dreams, and even affect the world beyond the veil. Tevinter Somniari used to enter the minds of sleepers and slay them in their dreams.
And I imagine you could influence people in their dreams too, right? If you can shape dreams, you can have people have the dreams you want them to see to influence the decision making.
Just send me into the Fade.
I told you he was amazing.
She knows.
Now, Ariane, please excuse us. We must prepare.
You're gonna give me some private bad news, aren't you? That's why you told her to step away.
There is more I must tell you that is not for her ears.
Is Feynriel in danger?
Indeed. And the danger may not come from what you think. Feynriel cannot become an abomination. The destruction he would cause is unimaginable. If you cannot save him from the demons, you must kill him yourself. A death in the Fade will make him what your circle calls tranquil. He will be no threat after.
I understand. And if it comes to that, I would happily do that and make him tranquil, but hopefully it won't.
I will not let him become a danger.
You could try and avoid that
wish you luck.
occurrence, right?
Now, gather a team, and we will begin. Choose carefully, for all will face temptation.
I never give in to temptation.
Right.
I worry what a journey to the Fade might bring out in me.
Can I come? I'd love to see the ritual. And I promise I won't be a bother.
Let us begin.
Okay, so the only one I'm dubious about here really is Isabella, but I'm going to bring her along just for the funnies. But I'm pretty sure Anders and Merril will both be solid. I trust in them wholeheartedly.
I had not thought to return in such a way. It is good to feel the breath of the Fade again, not the empty air of your world.
That would be justice.
You look different.
I am justice. Anders has told you of me. Come. I sense Feynriel's mind straining. We will not have much time.
I'm actually quite happy to have, interesting that we got rivalry out of these two. Is that because I brought you? Because you wanted to come. Both of you wanted to come, actually, but, this little book here is an asshole, but you can't get it. There you go, we got it. Free attribute point. There is, I believe, 4 little puzzles like that inside the Fade for us to get goodies from. That's just one of them. We'll take the strength for now. Right, so that's... The courtyard is like first things first, so let's go this way. And here's the second puzzle for some points. You gotta move all the barrels in a certain order. Some of these things can be a little tricky, but I'll show you all how to do them regardless. Alrighty, so let's take a swing at this puzzle. And there's our attribute points. So we'll take that one and we'll put that into Constitution to make sure that all lines up where it needs to be. And then there is one more puzzle that we can find inside here, which is going to get us another 2 attribute points. So it'll net us another 2, because you can get 4 in total, so keep a lookout for the goodies. There's another puzzle somewhere in here. The main courtyard is where all the shit goes down. So yeah, here's the second barrel puzzle. This one is a little harder than the first one. This one gets a lot more confusing, obviously. Just looking at it, you got red barrels, white barrels, and all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and get this one too. Alrighty, so here we go with this. So drop one more save while we're in position before we touch any of this, because there is a limit on the moves you can make to do this, and if you fail it, you don't get the points, and you summon a gang of demons to fight. So worth noting. Which I actually think I already fucked that up. I don't think I should have touched that one first, actually, so... Well, let's see. Let's run it out to its natural conclusion. Move you over there. Move you up. Slide you across. Move you down. There we go. And that's our attribute points. That is all 4 attainable attributes inside the Fade. So we will happily take those. Now, we're right on the cusp of 40 strength. And we're right on the cusp of 30 constitution. Let's get 30 con. Then we won't have to worry about this too much going forward. The only reason you need a higher amounts of constitution, beyond the obvious of, you know, you don't want to die much while you're in here. The Armor of the Champion is the Act 3 gear set, which is probably the best gear you're going to get in the game outside of DLCs, which are obviously all doing in order, so we won't be there yet, but that all requires a certain amount of constitution and strength to equip. So that's the reason why we're getting our money up like that, so to speak. Or empty Fade rooms here. We will be visiting this. I just got the puzzles done first, so I didn't have to think about it.
It's rare to see 2 forgotten magics in one day. It's usually a slow place, the Fade. Not many surprises. I wasn't sure I'd like this one, but it has potential.
A demon of sloth. It exists to make men forget their purpose and their pride. Do not relax around it.
That is why I'm okay with having a Fade companion here who understands things.
Proposition that might interest you.
I don't work with demons.
I will not give in to temptation, fiend.
Have it your way.
Yeah, barking up the wrong tree. Of course, Merril got a little upset at us there for telling him to eat shit and die. But I don't know what she expected. I'm not here to deal with demons. She might be comfortable with that, but I'm certainly not. I know better than to let my guard down and think I understand the machinations of a demon like that. And like Anders, well, Justice, so nicely pointed out to us, the way that they operate is they just buy time to sap your will. He's not trying to talk to us, he's trying to buy himself time so he can manipulate us and weaken our will so that he eventually gets us to take that deal. But that's not going to happen, so I'm going to shove it and move on with saving Feynriel's life.
That's it, Feynriel. Pardon the downstroke, then lift. Good. I'll have you scribing all my letters soon. If I'd known you were such a brave lad, I'd have brought you into the business years ago.
Does that mean I can come with you to Antitha, Father? Mother said maybe this summer. Right, Mother?
We can try to convince him here. We can try and make him make sense that he's in the Fade. Like, this is not what really happened, right? You should know this.
Your father never wanted anything to do with you. Don't trust him.
Why are you lying to me?
Don't listen, son. She's always been ashamed of you. She wanted you gone, so she could go back to the dailies. I'm the one who loves you.
But why can't I remember you?
You should know this is the Fade, boy. You know this, right?
This is a trick, Feynriel. He wants something from you.
Why? That's right. I spent my whole childhood waiting for you.
Attaboy.
Your mother never allowed.
My mother loves me. She showed me the letters she wrote you. You never wrote back.
Good man.
And it was Mother who taught me to write, not you.
You figured this out quicker than
I've met you before.
quicker than Alistair did.
Who are you?
Don't question
me.
It's hilarious that the kid is better at figuring out the Fade than Alistair, Big Bad Templar.
You turned him against me.
And I would again.
Complete accident. I was trying to help. Honest.
Take away my pets, and I'll take away yours. How loyal are these friends you drag into the Fade?
Okay.
Would your pirate queen stay if the open water beckoned? What do you say, sweetheart? A two-mast brigantine, square main topsail, 100 well-built lads to answer your every whim. I know you've been looking for a stiff masthead.
Well, shit. Can't beat that.
Should I turn around now to let you stab me in the back? Or would you rather it be a surprise?
You are just the sweetest.
Of course.
The silence call too awaits in Kirkwall Harbor. I'll be under the firs in the captain's quarters.
I like big boats. I cannot lie.
Other brothers can't deny. Alright, Isabella. Well, that's one companion down. Although I'm not going to begrudge her for that. We kind of knew it was a bad idea bringing her in and from jump, right? I mean, she's a pirate. She likes pirate things. She's always going to be questionable. I think that's funny, though. I like big boats. I cannot lie. Hold that against you, Isabella. That's why I said we'll bring her for the funnies. Anything else, Torpor? Just one rage demon? Need more than that. Fenyriel's Pride. We'll obviously yoink up any codexes and XP we find in here because there's no coming back once we leave, so thorough is definitely the strategy. Actually, the circle if you can believe it, this is actually what the inside the mage circle of Kirkwall looks like. We haven't even been there yet, but this is what it looks like inside. So, attribute-wise, let's do 2 and then 1, because 31 constitution is very up there. We have 269 health, so that's very up there. So we'll start dumping some things into willpower a little too along our way. Now, we do have the option to get Insatiable, which is that 300% fizz damage on disoriented targets that I was telling you guys about, which is very, very spicy. Let me see, before I look at any of this, let me see what our other options are on these other trees first. Bolster, Rally. Rally could be good. And Bolster is good because it eventually leads to Deep Reserves, which is a big stamina regen activated ability. We could upgrade these things eventually, like Sunder strikes carry such weight that critical hits gain a chance to stagger. We have the brittle targets, but we're not making anything brittle, so that wouldn't be good for us. That's brittle too. Again, we're not doing anything against brittle targets. The last thing we would ever really invest in this tree would be Sunder, which is the warrior strikes carry chance to stagger enemies when they crit. So that's not too good. And what do we have in here? The warrior is now an elite combatant, so experienced in battle that enemies suffer more pain when fighting the warrior than they would when fighting anyone else. Enemy damage resistance 90% versus basic warrior attacks, and enemy damage resistance 50% versus warrior critical hits. That just makes us chunkier when things are fighting against us. Massacre would be the warrior calls the weak. In most cases, when an enemy falls below a certain health threshold, the next hit is fatal. So death blow versus normal enemies below 20%, and death blow versus lieutenants at 10%. So as soon as they hit those thresholds, they just die. They just fall over and die. They're dead. So that's also a very interesting one. Now we also have our second specialization point. And obviously this right here would be what I would ordinarily do for the build that I want to show you. So they have things like Berserk. This costs 4 stamina per hit, but it's 10% of remaining stamina per swing on this. And then obviously Adrenaline, it makes your damage go way, way up. For a short time, the Berserker taps into deep reserves of energy to make each strike more powerful. If the Berserker activates Adrenaline multiple times, its effects are additive. But you can only do this while this is active, and Berserker constantly drains that stamina. Then we have Barrage, so this is a 50% attack speed boost, but we lose 20% of our damage resistance when we get down here. But again, the 50% attack speed is absurd, but you take way more damage. And then Death Blow here is obviously every time we kill an enemy, we get 5% stamina back. And then our only other option for specialization would be Templar. So in Templar, you get Cleanse, that's a chance to dispel magic. You get a silence chance, is 10% versus normal enemies. This will just let you kind of tell the mages to shoosh. And then down here, you would have Holy Smite, Annulment, and Silence. So given that we're actually at our specialization threshold, probably a good idea to finally get Berserk. So let's go Berserk, and then let's go Berserk. And we'll do that. Now, our ability bar here, we can drop Aura of Pain. We know we're not interested in that. Pommel Strike can go too, just to make some room. And we'll put Berserk down here in our activateds. These are the only other this is the only other sustain that we have that costs any kind of stamina at all. So we're in a pretty good spot so far. Once Berserk starts getting up there and activated, this thing is going to be insane. So the only thing we really have left to do in this whole tree is Sacrificial Frenzy's cooldown. Maybe we'll get that lower, and then we might dip into this. So 2 points left to do inside Riva, and then 1 point to do right here. No, sorry, it wasn't there. It was in here. Yeah, this. Massacre would be like something that I'm interested in. And then the rest is all going into Berserk and Battlemaster. But Battlemaster we haven't really found a need for yet. Once my stamina gets really bad with Berserker, then we're going to start needing to dip into that. But for right now, we're doing very, very good. 3 points left to put into my other skill trees, and then it's all going Berserk and Battlemaster. Who are we going to be this time?
My people, I present to you our hope. His features may mark him as human, but In his heart beats the blood of the Dales. He came to us to learn his heritage, to release the power from a lineage as ancient.
Ironically, we haven't even seen this guy yet.
I don't know
but
what
the
to
guy
say.
we are right now is... This is Enchanter Orsino. He runs this place. He runs the Circle of Magi. He's the first Enchanter here in Kirkwall. We haven't met him yet, so this is actually our first glance at Orsino.
This is a trick.
First Enchanter? What are you doing here? Mother told me the Dalish are honorable. Why would the Keeper lie?
Why would she entrust her people to a human?
You are one of us, Feynriel. Your magic will restore our greatness.
But you told me this magic was outlawed for a reason. Even the Dalish don't practice it anymore.
Could the elves trust you with the power to shape reality? Could you trust yourself?
Don't listen to him. The first Enchanter is trying to keep you from realizing your greatness.
Trying to keep me from temptation. Just like you were. You're not the Keeper.
Good man.
Gone, fiend.
He understands the assignment.
You. Why did you interfere?
It's just fun to me. That's why. Oh, this is about to get significantly less fun, isn't it?
Feynriel would have changed the world.
The boy only wants his freedom, not your power.
Those who are free to choose always want power. You think your friends are different?
I do.
You think this elf, with her innocent face, would turn down a demon's offer? She didn't before. How about it? Would you take what I offered the boy? Scion of the Dalish, savior of elvenkind.
Can you do that?
I am the greatest of my kind. Whatever tricks your little pet has taught you will pale in comparison.
Demons always turn on you in the end.
I cannot put you ahead of the fate of my people.
Merril.
You took my dreamer. Now you'll take his place.
You didn't need to do that, Merril. Well, my companions are having a situation, aren't they? That's 2 down. I honestly thought Merril would be better than that, given how much she understands of the Fade. I didn't think she would fall for that. That's interesting. It's me and you, Anders.
I'm not sure if this is real. If so, it is the second time I owe you my life. The Fade feels different now. I see the stitches, the seams holding it together. I feel I could wake at any moment.
Dreamers control the Fade and the dreams of people in it.
I see why the Chantry fears us. I've heard tales of Magisters who stalk their enemies and use their own dreams to destroy them.
Come on, kid.
You're right. I must master it. Find someone to study under. The Dalish do not have what I need. Perhaps Tevinter. If these powers can be trained, it would be there. My mother would not look kindly on such a journey. Can you give her my farewell?
If that's what you think is best, then go. You're a mage, so I know you won't be treated too bad.
May the Maker guide your path, Feynriel.
Perhaps. There is a way out of this.
There always is. He sent me back to reality first.
I can do this.
Yeah, he has a very good moral
Feynriel
compass.
has mastered his powers.
Then he lives. You saved him.
His moral compass
thank
seems
you enough.
completely
Keeper
above
Marithari,
board.
May I return with
He
you
caught
to
on to every
Sunderland?
single demon trick every time.
I would like to ask for my son's forgiveness.
Of course. It was you who chose to stay away.
Yeah. It is He passed every single check. He knew they were manipulating him, and he didn't fall for it and didn't take those deals. He did better than my companions back here did. You should be ashamed, both of you. Especially you, Merrill. Come on now.
He must go elsewhere to train.
I expect Isabella to fall to temptation, but he's supposed to be the sweet innocent one.
My son? No. I must find him before he goes.
It is wise for him to seek guidance. Kirkwall cannot provide what he needs. I truly did not think what you did was possible. You are a rare human indeed.
You have my apologies. It is easy to forget that one cannot bind demons with words.
Your friend awakened here some time ago. No one is immune to a demon's offer. You accomplished a miracle with Feynriel. This book belonged to the last dreamer of our tribe. It has a rare magic beyond price. Please, accept it with my gratitude.
Happily. And you owe me an apology too, Isabella. Shame, you happy little harlot.
Face down in. I could recommend one.
I bet you could recommend a few of them, actually. Alright, so that takes care of Feynriel for Act 2, and I think we made the right call there. If he didn't pass every single check on those demonic possession attempts, right, like if he was falling to some kind of temptation or wasn't saying all the right things right there, maybe I wouldn't have allowed him to just walk away and go to Tevinter, but honestly, he seems really good. I mean, he did better than some mages that we saw in Origins. He did better than Alistair. He seems like he's good. He's going to be okay, I think. And really our options there were to kill him or let him go and master his powers. And I think him going to master his powers is the better alternative there. I'm not going to kill somebody who's literally doing all the right things at every possible chance. Right? So I think him going away like that is the best option. And all that being said, this has been a little bit of a long one, so I'll probably wrap things up here. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please do check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. That's where I write written reviews of the games we've beaten on the channel so far, as well as give updates and Q&As on my upcoming projects, things like that. So if you're interested in any of that, then please do check that out. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age 2. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.